guys, it's Mizari, and today I'm going to be showing you this super easy, beginner-friendly makeup look that I use for my Nezuko cosplay. Please excuse the lack of circle lenses. Since moving houses I haven't been able to find them, so that's why my eyes aren't pink in this video. I'll explain each step as best I can and show all the products I use, but you don't need to use the same products as me to achieve this look. Whatever you have available is perfect. So here I am, barefaced and bald. I highly recommend before you put on any makeup, you at least cleanse and moisturize your face so that your foundation will apply evenly and so any excess facial oil won't cause your foundation to separate. This first step is completely optional, but if you're like me and you find it hard to get foundation to stick to your nose or any other area of your skin, it can work wonders. You just want to take any brand of skin-friendly antibacterial rubbing alcohol and spray a little onto a tissue or a cosmetic pad, then gently wipe it over the area of concern. With any product, it's a good idea to do a patch test on your hand before putting it on your face, just in case you find it irritating. Once you've let that sit for a bit, it's time for primer. I use the e.l.f. Poreless Putty primer because it works well for me, but again, use what works for you. Take a little bit of your primer. With the putty primer you have to rub it between your fingers to make it tacky, so just follow the instructions for your primer, then start smoothing it onto your skin. Make sure you spread it evenly. I'm giving my under eye a little extra attention because unfortunately you can see the quality of sleep I got last night a little too well for my liking. I also put it under my chin and a little on my neck so that the foundation will blend really well. Pat it in for extra absorbency and then let it set before moving on. Definitely not sponsored, but I do love the immediate difference this primer makes to my skin. So this is another optional step, but as I said earlier, I have a lot of trouble getting foundation to stick to my nose, so this is the second trick I use to make my life a little bit easier. I just take a little bit of concealer before applying any foundation, dab it onto my nose and just blend it with a damp sponge. All it does is create a nice barrier between my skin and the foundation. You can use this tip any way you find foundation separates. The next step is foundation. Some people prefer to do their eye makeup before their base, but I personally find it easier in this order, especially since the eye makeup for Nezuko isn't too crazy, so there shouldn't be any issues. I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation because it's inexpensive and it works well for me. All you want to do is pour a little bit of foundation onto a damp blending sponge and apply it to your face. It's important to start your foundation in the center of your face as it'll make it much easier to blend it outwards towards your hairline and neck. Remember to only use a little bit of foundation each time because it's easier to build up and layer foundation than it is to try and take it away. Push it into the skin with little quick dabbing motions all over your face. Try not to swipe the foundation on too much as this often creates uneven tone. The only time I ever swipe is around my eye creases as sometimes dabbing doesn't fill them in properly. Out your concealer again and put a semicircle under your eye. Grab a damp beauty blender and blend the concealer slightly outwards and down. This will brighten the appearance of your under eye and help correct any eye bags. If you have a smaller sponge like the one I'm using, I highly recommend using that for this step as it gives you more control over your blending and doesn't squash your eye as much. If you have quite dark eye bags or discoloration in this area, it can be helpful to use a colour corrector before applying concealer, but today I will just be using regular concealer. Also make sure to apply concealer onto your chin, the middle of your nose and the creases of your nostrils. This just brightens the skin and adds dimension to your face. I tend to apply a little bit between my eyebrows to emphasize the gap as well. Concealer also makes a great replacement for eye primer. Here I am dabbing my sponge directly onto the concealer applicator so that I can get just a tiny amount of product and then applying that with the same blending method to my eyelids. we are going to bake our concealer. If you are unfamiliar with or have never tried baking your concealer, don't panic. It's super simple and it leaves a really smooth finish. It basically makes your concealer look crease free. All I am doing is taking a loose translucent setting powder and pouring it into its own lid. Then I grab my mini damp beauty blender and wipe it onto the powder. Once there's enough powder on the sponge, I press it onto the same areas I just applied concealer a moment ago. Yes, you're going to look a little bit silly for a while, but trust the process. If you only have pressed powder, you can technically still use it, although it won't give the same finish and will take extra time to apply. Once you're happy, we're going to leave the powder for 10 minutes to bake. While we are baking, let's do our eyebrows. Take a simple spoolie or eyebrow brush, whatever you have on hand, and shape your eyebrows however you feel. I'm going to follow my natural shape, which is fairly straight with a slight arch. I'm due for a waxing appointment, so you'll have to excuse how thick my eyebrows are at the moment. Grab a slanted eyebrow eyeliner brush, which my camera is refusing to focus on, because we are going to fill in our eyebrows. Some cosplayers like to block their eyebrows, although I have to say I've tried every method I can find and none of them 100% work for me. It's probably just my fault, but blocking makes me look super strange, and that's why today we are filling. Take any black eyeshadow, I'm using the shade Fast Lane from the Jeffree Star Artistry palette, and start outlining your eyebrows. Take your time with this step and build up coverage slowly. If you rush it, you'll likely make a mistake. Gradually fill inside the outline and try to make them as even as you can. Now that my eyebrows are black, you can see how desperately I need them waxed. But that's besides the point. If you do make a mistake with your outlining, you can just grab a Q-tip and dip it in makeup remover or concealer, then smooth the Q-tip over the mistake to cover it. By now your concealer should be done baking, so just take a large powder brush and gently sweep the excess setting powder off of your face. You may need to apply a little force, but don't push too hard. I soon found out here that my camera wasn't recording these next few steps, so I'm just going to backtrack and talk over them with you. So what I did first was contour my nose. If you don't have a contour palette, just some light brown eyeshadow does the trick too. Grab a thin, angled brush similar to the one we just used for our eyebrows, and starting from the beginning of your eyebrows, you want to draw a line on either side of your nose bridge. Then you're going to grab a blending brush and blend the line outwards and down to create the illusion of a slimmer nose. Next, I dipped an angled blush brush in the shade Hot from the MORPHE 8C Cool Pro blush palette, but any bright peachy pink blush will do. I then sucked in my cheeks to better see my cheekbones and lightly swept the brush in circular motions over the bone. You also want to brush a little bit of the blush on the tip of your nose. This is a very common technique in anime inspired makeup and just really sells the cute aesthetic. Then you want a preferably golden toned highlighter, but white or silver will do too. You're going to rub a little bit onto your finger, then rub your finger onto the center of your nose, chin, above your cupid's bow and the sides of your temple. This just adds a little bit of sparkle and it looks really great in the light. Now it's eyeliner time. Don't be too scared, I'm going to show you two techniques that help me get it reasonably straight. Technique 1 is grabbing your eyelid with your opposite finger and holding it flat so that you can draw strokes without your eye moving. I usually only use this method to start my eyeliner as it creates a good beginning mark. The next method is to keep your eye half lidded and draw short, small strokes while holding the liner pen straight against your face. Always only draw small strokes. For Nezuko, we just want a straight line with a minimal, barely there wing. I finished my liner off camera as it was extremely tricky for me to do it without being able to see properly. It's finally time for my favourite part, eyeshadow. To start, we're going to grab a small eyeshadow blending brush and any light brown, tan looking eyeshadow. I'm using the shade Hi Dude, and we're just going to gently rub it under your lash line. This makes your eyes look bigger by making the bottom of your eye look lower. Notice I am holding the brush close to the bristles. This is called hard blending, and you should hold your brush like this when you want to really diffuse and remove some of the product for a more natural finish. I found that I put too much on to start, and so I use this blending technique to remove the excess product. Next, you're going to want to find a nude or slightly pink toned shade with a blending brush. I am using shade 1985 and apply it all over your eyelid, mainly focusing your attention on spreading it into your crease. You can always get more creative with the eyeshadow if you so wish. I just prefer to stay closer to the original character. Nezuko doesn't really have any noticeable eyeshadow, so I'm focusing on making my eyes seem bigger and softer. Just keep blending and applying until you're happy with the pigment. Grab an eyelash curler and give your lashes a good curl. Don't mind that I accidentally dipped my fingers into green eyeshadow. Grab your favourite volumizing mascara and apply it to both your top and bottom lashes. An easy method for applying mascara is to hold the one in front of your eye, look up, and then look down to drag your lashes over the mascara wand. Take care not to get the mascara anywhere else on your face or to poke yourself in the eye. Next, grab a pair of clean tweezers and try to grip your eyelashes into mini triangles. If you have some false eyelashes that you want to use, you can apply those now too. This technique just emphasizes your lashes and gives them the look of an anime character. To make our eyes look extra big, we are going to apply some white liner to our waterline. It's okay to be nervous. I used to think I'd never put makeup in my waterline, but now I can do it without too much thought. If you don't feel comfortable with this step yet, feel free to skip it. To apply the liner, I simply pull my eyelid slightly downwards and carefully glide the liner pen over my waterline in sideways motions. You can really see the difference between my eyes now from this one step. We're almost there. Grab an easy to blend pink lipstick that's soft in texture. Start by applying the lipstick to just the inner parts of your lips and then blend it outwards using your finger to create an ombre effect. You might need to repeat this process a few times to achieve your desired vibrance. We're on the very last step. Grab your favourite setting spray, hold it around 25 centimeters or so away from your face and give it a spritz. Fan with your hands to dry your face, and there you have it. Thank you all so much for watching my tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me and I'll do my best to answer them. I really hope you found this helpful, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!